Hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hi, good evening, everyone. Okay, so they're still doing the work. Let me just. Okay, fine. For BI desktop, we understood about what is data modeling. Sorry, I have not shared the file. I'll just share it. So I'm well occupied, and I have some net issue from the morning. So I think in some time the guys are coming to fix it up. So I'll just share it once it is done. So the files are ready. I've kept everything ready. I just need to share it. I'm just connecting to the hotspot. Okay. So chalo, that is fine. So in today's session, we'll be talking more on DAC. Okay. One second. Hello, everyone. I think you'll just give me around 5-10 minutes. I'll just, the ACT service person has come. I'll just try to fix those particular issues, the net issue. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. I think by the time others also will be joining. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll just join. This one. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Okay, so they're still doing the work. Let me just start off with the today's session. See, in today's session, we'll discuss about DAX. Again, a very interesting, a very important session. Rather, I can say, we'll just see how exactly we work with the DAX. See, first thing is, what is DAX? I'll use this. I hope I am audible. Thank you. Thanks for the response. See, a very important thing we'll see about your DAX. So it says DAX stands for data analysis and expression. Okay, DAX stands for data analysis and expression. Is a library of functions and operators that can be combined to build formulas and the expressions. So that means what is this DAX? is a library of functions. Like it is a group of functions. Okay. And the operators. Functions is what, like if you people have worked in Excel, we have functions like sum, average, min, max, count, VLOOKUP. There are many functions, is it? So it is nothing but is a library of functions, a group of functions, and the operators. Okay, operators are plus, minus, and all these things that can be combined. Okay, with the help of this particular functions and operators, okay, we can combine to build some kind of a expression. Okay, to build a formulas and the expressions. So that means this is mainly here, we have two things here. So we use this particular thing called as the calculated columns, and we have a measures. We have two types of expressions we do it here. So we mainly have a calculated columns and measures. Yeah, we'll look into what is this calculated column, what is measures, and we'll look into some of the functions which we use in the DAX. Okay. So it has a collection. So DAX, okay, so we understand that. See, it is the data analysis and expression. It is mainly used for analyzing the data, okay, and getting some kind of a more fruitful reports or more, what to say, more detailed information of your data, rather I can say. Okay, so that means it contains a collection of functions and some operators. We have two things here. When it's calculated columns and measures, we'll look into the details of that. It has a collection of all the functions that helps in producing the formulas and expressions that can be used to solve several data analysis problems. With DAX, we can create robust a robust and high performance data models in a more efficient way. That is because we can access and evaluate large amount of data from the different tables very quickly. So that means here it says with the help of this particular DAX function, so we can do a lot of calculations, and this can be done very easily, quickly. Okay, the calculation can be done. Okay, just like we do use a lot of function in Excel, like example VLOOKUP, match, index, offset, average, various functions. There also it provides you a lot of functions, a lot of advanced functions, but it works much more efficient, much faster than Excel works. Okay. It can be used in so DAX can also be used in Power BI, but not only in Power BI, it can be used in Excel Power Pivot. It can also be used in Microsoft SQL Server. So it's one language for many different applications. So that means when you learn DAX can be used not only in Power BI, it can be used even in your Power Pivot. Is not only that, you can use when you use the dynamic tables in Excel, we can use that in the SQL Server also. You can use it. Yes. Basically, DAX is a language used to create two major things: the calculated columns and the measures. So this is very, very, very important, because when you generally go to any interview, the very first thing they ask about DAX is what is the difference between the calculated columns and measures. Where do you use the calculated? Where do you use measures? Okay, it gives you this particular detailed information that will enhance the dashboards with analytical capabilities. Okay, so that means it provides you this, that basically DAX language is used to create the calculated columns and the measures that will enhance the dashboards with more analytical capabilities. Okay, so what do you mean by that? Okay, why do you use the DAX? When we have a clean data but not complete data. See, in the last class we discussed about Power Query Editor. Okay, in the Power Query Editor, what it does is it pulls the data from your data source and we do the data transformation there. So maybe you want to delete the duplicate rows, you want to split the columns, okay, you want to do some kind of operations. Okay? So that is where exactly we use the transformation. That is where you use the Power Query Editor. Some basic calculations also we did, but mainly we did like converting your data to uppercase, splitting the columns and all those things we did. Yeah, more of cleaning operations. But DAX is not used for the cleaning operations. Okay, that means when we have clean data but not a complete data. So that means here we have some data, okay, but you want to get from the data, you want to get more detailed analytical capabilities, more detailed information. Okay, see what is the difference between the data and info? We have something called in computers, we have something called the data and information. What is the difference? Data is also data, information is also data. But data can be meaningful or cannot be meaningful, but information always has to be meaningful. Information has to give more meaningful than the actual data based on which the information is generated. And information is nothing but is the processed data. Is that? So you have some data, but from that data you want to get more detailed information and you want to extract. That is where exactly we use the DAX. And we need to add some kind of a calculated column so we get more detailed information. Okay, we use this particular DAX. Let us see how do we do this. If you are reading the data from the Excel, we can create the calculated columns in the Power BI. We read data from the different data sources. In this case, we must read the data into Power BI and then use the DAX function. DAX in Power BI helps us to do more additional calculations as per the requirements. So let us see how do we do this particular thing. Okay. See, here one thing is when you get into this Power BI desktop, as you know, we have three views. We have a report view, we have a data view, and we have a model view. Is it? So, and I just documents. And in the report view, we create the presentation. And in the data view is the actual data that you see, the sample data you see, is it? So now we'll just see how do we apply this particular DAX calculation for doing some functions. Let me select the same order sheet, load it. I'm just loading the data. Yeah, I have this, I think the data is being loaded. So now let us go ahead. First we'll see how do we get some computed columns and how do we get this into this one. I think before we look into this, these are important things. We need to understand what is the computed columns, what is the measure. See, the computed columns is nothing but it expands, okay, the table by creating a new column. So imagine I have a table, okay. With the table, it adds an additional column. That is going to be a calculated column, which is going to be added as an additional column to this. It will be added as an additional column to the table. So that means when I say additional column, every row wise you will get a calculation. You will get a row wise calculation. And since it is binded to your table, it is going to use a memory space, additional memory space. Okay. So when you look into this one, so it just says it expands the table by creating a new column. That means it is a new column which gets added to the table. Second thing is stored along with the table consumes memory. That means it is stored with the table, it consumes the additional memory. And it has, when you go for mainly for DAX, it's for doing getting more rich analytics capabilities. When it comes to analytics capability, it's not that very rich. Okay. And this is mainly used when you want to get the row-wise calculations. Row-wise, you want to do some calculations, we use this particular thing. Fine. Now, example, in my table, I have a sales and I have a profit. I want to calculate the cost. Cost is a calculated column, is it? When I have a sales and the profit, we can easily calculate what is the cost of it. See, just take an example like I have a pen, I sell this particular pen for 10 rupees and say I got a profit of 2 rupees. So what is the cost for that? 10 minus 2. 8 will be the cost of it. The same thing, I have a sales value, I have a price, I want to know what is the cost. From sales, you subtract the price, you'll know what is the cost of it. Okay. So that is where, and every row will have a different cost. So that is where exactly we use a calculated column. But the same thing, when it comes to measures, it summarizes the data into a single table. That means you have a group of rows, it gives you one single output, which is going to be the sum of value, not a single value. And it's not going to be created with a table or not there. So this will be created at runtime. So calculated at runtime and stored temporarily. Okay, that means it is not going to occupy a memory space. That is one thing. And whenever you call at that particular time, it just gets created automatically. And it has very rich analytics capabilities. Okay, and this is mainly used. When do you use it? The usage happens is mainly we use these measures is when you want to get an aggregated data. Aggregated is some average, min, max, counts, and all those things. So if you are doing aggregated data, we use it. Like example, we have a sales. I want to know what is the total sales. I want to know what is the total profit. Okay, sales minus cost is the profit, or what is the total cost? Sales minus profit, you subtract and then you do a sum of that. So I say total profit. So you want to get those kind of a calculation. So that is where we use this particular, measure. Okay. So let us see, how do we create Power BI? Can Power BI run on PC2 or only in laptop? PC2 means computer, no? PC means desktop PC. It can work on PC. When you have operating system on a PC, your Power BI can also work on a PC, no? Okay, so why this question is, okay. Yes, but don't use the old machine. I hope you have Windows 10 or above version, so it should be good enough. Okay, but if you say Windows 8 and the prior version, so I don't think so it will work. Okay. Sure. Now let us get into it and we'll just see how do we get a calculated column. Okay. Then we'll see how do we use the measure. Now if I have to get a calculated column, see this is my orders query or table, no? The data what we have imported, and this is a report view, this is a data view, okay, where I can see the preview of the data completely, and I can apply the calculated columns and all those things, so we can do it in this one. Now we have this data. On this data, I'll apply the calculated columns. So if I have to apply the calculated columns, so how will you apply this column? So for that, here you can see in the table tools. In the table tools, we have this here called as new column. In the table tool, we have this new column to add a new column. That is to get a calculated columns. I go to the data model, table tools, I have a new column. I'll hit on the new column. Okay. Now here we know that we have a sales, we have a profit. I want to know what is the cost. When you set this new column, you can see a new column is added. The name is given as column. I say no, I want to say this as cost. So I'll just say cost. I think we can increase the font of this. Okay. Is equal to, I'll just say how do you calculate the cost is nothing but sales. Or you can even take this particular, sales minus profit. So that means you are referring to the column. If I'm referring to the column, I need to refer to the table name, and within the table name, the column name. So order sales, that means sales column minus the profit column. So we are subtracting this. Okay. And now you want to compile this. You have the tick mark here, right? Is it? Just hit on this. It gets compiled, and you can see automatically a formula will be calculated and the values will be applied. Okay, so you can see that new column has been applied. So when I say 38 is the sales value, profit is 18. From 38, if I subtract 18, it is 20 is the cost. So when you see this, okay, from 30, 60, from 64, 30 is the profit. So that means 34 is the cost of it. Okay, so from 19, 9 is the profit. So 10 is the cost of it. So we see, okay, good profit percentage, good cost of it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we get this particular thing. This is where exactly we use the calculated columns, and you can see this how. And we are writing this, the formula. So this will be the name of the column that you wanted. Okay, and this will be your formula expression. So you can see here, I'm not using any function here, but I'm using an operator, sales minus profit. It is subtracting, and the value is stored into this column. Since it's a calculated column, so it has been stored. And this column, you have 10,000 rows, 10,000 values, it has been stored there. Okay. As an additional column, and it is there in the memory. So this whole data comes into the memory and you're working, no? So it is there. Okay, fine. This is your calculated columns. Now we'll see how do we create a measure. Measures means when you are using aggregated data. Like we have the sales here. I want to know what is the total sales. I want to know what is the total sales. If I have to get the total sales, okay, what will I do is, I just again go to the table tools here. Here we have a new measure. We have a new measure. I'll just hit on this. Okay, I'll just say new measure. What is the measure I want to give name for it? I'll just say the name for this is, I say total sales. I say total sales. And how do we calculate the total sales? It is going to be a sum of sales. I'm just writing a simple calculation, sum of sales. Sales refers to the sales column of the orders table. Cool. That's it. I'll just compile this one. And you can see here, see when I did this particular total sales, you can see there is no column created. Columns created? No. There is no column created. But you can see one measure will be created here. Okay, this is how your measures will be. Measures will be showing with the symbol, whereas this one, what is say the column, what is the name we have given for that cost. You can see a new column is being created. This is a calculated column. You see the difference here. There it was showing like calculator, but here it is an additional column to the table with the signation, that is based on the calculations. Okay, that is how the icon differentiation happens. This is the total sale. Now, so that's it. I think that is fine. Clear? Understood. Now, I want to know where can I use this one. Yes. If I just go to my measures here, report, I can get the total sales. I just take this particular card here, and then I want to display the total sales here. I'll just display. We can see 2.3 million. This is the total sales value. So we received, that is 2.3 million. So how we got this 2.3 million? 2.3 million is nothing but the total of all the sales. Okay, when you sum up this value, we have almost 10,000 rows. When you sum up this is 2.3 million ka value. Okay. Now I want to know what is the profit. I want to calculate the profit. So what I'll do, I create another. So that means I want to even calculate what is the total profit. So I want the sum of this as well as the sum of this. I want to know the profit. So if I have to calculate the profit, what will I do? I'll create another measure here. And then just say this time I want to calculate the total measure. Sorry, total profit. If I have to calculate the total profit, just like how we did the sum of sales, here I'll use the sum of profit. I'll just say sum of profit. That's it. And I'll just say OK. And then you can go back to your, that report. So you can go back to your report, and I'll just create another card here. So I'm just using a card, and I'll say I want to display here is the total profit. Okay, I just wanted to use another card here. Select on this, another card, and I'll take the total profit. So you can see this is the total profit. So what we understand here, for the sales of 22 lakhs, almost 23 lakhs, for the sales of 23 lakhs, we have a profit of only 2.8 lakhs. So it is 10% is 2.3 lakhs. It is just about 20%, like around 12% is the profit. I want to know what is the profit percentage. How do we calculate the percentage? If I have to calculate what is the percentage of profit that we are getting. So that means for 100 rupees, if I say I got a profit of 20 rupees, so how will you calculate that I got 20% profit, 20% as a profit? 20 by 100 into 100, no? 20, that means actual profit divided by the total sales into 100, I'll get the profit percentage. What is the percentage of profit I get? Is it? So I'll try to do the calculation. See, what I mean to say is this kind of information you can get directly also, is it? See, I can just place another card here, and instead of a total sales, I'll take the predefined column sales. That will also give me the same output. Okay, so I'll take this particular profit, and I will say I wanted to give the profit here. So this also is giving me the same output, no difference. Okay. But you know what I want is I want more detailed information. I want to know what is the profit percentage. If I have to calculate profit percentage, it is going to be a profit divided by sales into 100. I will get a profit percentage. I want that one. So mainly, like, you know, when you create a dashboard, I want to show that particular information in the percentage, or mainly, like, you know, the analyst will be happy to see the information in the form of percentages. Okay. So if I have to get that, so what I will do is I'll just I can create a measure even from the report. Here also we have a new measure. You can just click on this. Okay. And then I'll just create a measure here as profit percentage. I say profit percentage. How do we calculate a profit percentage? To calculate the profit percentage, so it is nothing but your total sales, total profit. Total profit is a column just now we created, divided by total sales. What are the sales is there into 100, is it? So we got this. Again, this is your profit percentage, is it? So profit divided by sales into 100. So whole divide by 100 or whatever I say into 100. Fine, multiply by 100. Now I'll just take another card here. and I just place this as profit percentage. Yeah. You can see the ratios. Okay. So when I go to the profit percentage, it says 12.47. How do we get 12.47? For 23 lakhs, if the sales is 2.8 lakhs, if you then it's just 2.8 lakhs divided by 23 lakhs into 100. That is 12%. That is just 12.5% is the profit what we are getting. Okay. Clear? Now, what I will do is I'll try to see this information. I want to see the profit, each region wise or each category wise. What is the profit? What is the kind of a profit percentage that I'm getting for furnitures? What is the profit I'm getting for office supplies? What is the kind of profit that I'm getting in the home offices or technology? What is the kind of profit? So each category might be giving a different profit. No, I want to see that. So what will I do? I just take a table here. I'm taking a table. I'll just add the categories to this, and I'll just take this total sales and the profit. I'm adding this total sales and total profit. So I say total sales, total profit, and I also want to get the profit percentage. And I zoom focus on this. So you can see that, okay, furniture has given me only the profit of 2%, 2.4%. Whereas office supplies I get 17% and technology I get 17.40%. The highest profit is from the technology, 17.4, and office supplies is not less. It is almost very competitive, slightly less, 17.4, and that is 7.04. Okay, 0.36 ka difference is there. But when you see the furniture, very, very bad profit, no, just 2.4% profit. Okay, 2.5% profit. For 100 rupees, you are getting 2 rupees 50 paise, something. So this is very low profit, is it? So that is what we understand from here. Okay, and overall you can see 14.47. So average of that. Got it? So So what I mean to say is, without DAX, you'll not be able to do this one. So this kind of additional analytics features you want to get it. So we use the help of DAX. So got an idea, guys? Okay, but DAX is more powerful. Really, we can do quite a lot of things. Okay, I'll not be able to justify in this particular 2 hours of time, but I'll tell you, DAX is a very, very vast and very, very important and very, very useful for creating a highly analytics features and things. But we have to create a calculated columns, is it? Sum of sales and total sales serve the same, different serve. Sum of sales and total sales. Hey, sum of sales and total sales are giving us the same thing. Okay. See here, I'm just telling those simple calculations, guys. But I can use this. Say, I'm using one other thing. Mainly thing is in the profit percentage, I'm using this. See, we can create a profit percentage without using this also. without creating a separate, sum of sales, without creating a total sales and total profit. I can directly write as sum of profit here and sum of sales. Yeah, it will work. Okay, it will work. See, if you want to write sum of sales, just for the learning purpose, I'm just showing you this. Sum of sales, okay, understanding this kind of it. This is also a DAX function. That is also the DAX function. So that means one DAX function is calling another DAX function. So table total profit is one DAX measure. So this measure is calling in term, another calling other measures. Okay, that also is fine. This also will give you the same output. Yeah, sum of sales and total sales also giving you the same output. Same one in the, it works one in the same. Okay, I think. But calculated columns will show you the different values. See, if I create something, since you asked me this question, if I create a column here, as sum of sales, so I cannot use for the aggregation. Okay, fine. Thank you. No need of creating the columns. So I think you got some idea of what is the difference between the calculated columns and the measures. See, mainly we use the calculated columns is you get the output on the row wise. Okay, we don't use it for the aggregation purpose. So it's not like we can use it, but you'll not get the correct results when you use the aggregation. For aggregations, we use the measures. Okay, like say example, if I create a column here as sum of sales, a new column, sorry, not table. Okay, no, it was an accident. No, I don't want this. Yeah, so I'll go with new column. Okay, here I just say a total sales. I'll just say as a column, okay? Just to have a different name, no? I'm just using this. I just say is equal to sum of sales. I'm just writing the same formula what I gave it for the total sales. So just to differentiate, I'm using a different column name. That's it. Okay, additional keyword as column. So here you can see I'll get the total sales for every row wise. Okay, it will calculate the total sales, but I'll get every row as 22,97,201. Now, if I use this one in your measures, in your report, okay, so if I use this one, like I'll just take the card here, and I'll just say total sales of column. So when you look into this, 2.3 million is the sales, sum of sales and total sales same, profit is same. But when you see sum of total sales column, it is getting 23 billion, not million, it is billion. So that means whatever the value is there into 1000, it has been multiplied. Okay, so it is into 1000 times, it has been multiplied into 1000 times. Okay, so that is what is happening here. So this is not the correct output. No, this is sum of sales 2.3 million, 2.3 million total sales also fine. Okay, but this is giving me a completely different output. So that means calculated columns we don't use for the aggregation purpose. So we don't use it on the reports and things. Mainly I can say you will not get the correct output when you're using it in the aggregation. Okay, and not only that, when you're doing this particular drill down, so if I select the furniture, it is showing only for the furniture. What is the total sales? What is the profit? What is the percentage? But you can see still it is, what is happening is, it is filtering out, but whatever the value was there for the furniture, it is same lakhs, 2.3 million, 2.3 million into number of furnitures is there. It is multiplied, so that is the reason you are getting a 4.87 billion. Okay, this is not the correct output, which cannot be used for any kind of a purpose. But this is, yeah, useful. So we see that, okay, when I select the furniture, I am getting a profit of 2.49. If I select the office supplies, you can see it is filtering automatically, you know. So as this is the sales of office supplies, 17.4%. When I say technology, 17.40% is the profit. Fine, clear with this, understood? Okay. Yeah, fine. We understood the major difference between the calculated. Mainly we use is when you are getting a row-wise calculation. Okay, row-wise calculation. But aggregated calculations. Okay, we use it. Fine, cool. The next thing is, next is very important. We'll try to understand what is sum x function. We all know about sum. Okay, so we'll try to understand what is sum x. See, the sum is nothing but the total sum of sales. Okay, whatever the sales value is there, it is going to sum up the sales value. But when you talk about a sum x, okay, it is like, you know, you are trying to calculate. So it is a kind of an iterator function. A sum x is an iterator function. It will go through every single record. That means every row wise, it is going to do an expression. This expression will be evaluated for every row, and that outputs of that will be cumulated. That means it will be summed up. Okay, through every single record of the input table and run the expression for the record. It stores the result of that into a temporary memory. Okay, I just give you one example. Let us take this data here. Okay. When I look into this one, I just have some orders. The product, what I say, name. There is a category of product. Okay, we have this what product it is. I think we don't need the category at all. See? But we're not going to do anything with the category yet. Is it? Okay. See, we have a product name. What is the unit price of that, and how much of quantity is being sold? Okay. Now I want to know what is the total amount. So I want to know what is the total sales amount. I want to calculate the total sales amount. I want to know what is the total sales amount. So if I have to calculate the total sales amount, how will you calculate? See, this is the price, individual product price it is, and this is the number of quantity. If I have to get the total amount, what will I get it? How will I get it? See, generally we need to calculate like this. We need to calculate amount. Okay, which is nothing but unit price into the quantity. You get this. Now you do this calculation for the throughout. Okay. And then what you do, you just say is equal to sum of this. Then you'll get the amount, is it? This is actually this one, no? Or like people do like this, is equal to sum of this. And I see many people doing like this. And they say is equal to this into this. No, is it? This is not the correct output. So this is the correct output. That means you have to multiply for each row wise. Each row wise it has to multiply. It has to know what is the amount. And then it should be summing of this. Okay, now what I want to do is, I want to get this calculation, but I don't want to create this additional column. Can I do this? Without creating this additional column, can I do this? Without creating an additional column, can we do this? Yeah, very good. So we have this sum product, is it? So we do is equal to sum product. Okay, and I just need to say this. And what is that you need to do? Multiplication into this. It's just nothing but arrays. Okay, it is parallel arrays. We'll do this. You can see they're getting. So if I delete this, this will not support, but you can see this will still work. Okay, because this was not using. Oh, very good. Okay, thank you for that. So now, I just want to do the same thing in your, what do you say, Power BI. I just want to do this in the Power BI. Okay, so let us see how do we do this. Let me call this particular file into your Power BI. Home. So that is where we use the SumX function. Get the data from the Excel workbook. Say I'm importing this additional new table. Okay. So I'll just select this particular sheet here. And I'll just say load this. Okay. We have this order and we have the sheet. Now I want to calculate in this one. So what I will do, I just go to my DAX, measure. So because it has to get this one calculated value, so I should get this calculated value, is it? So since I want to get this particular calculated value, so we'll just go something like this. So I just say is nothing but some product, that is the total sales amount. Okay, a total sales amount or whatever it is, fine. I say is equal to sum x is the function. The first parameter is what? We need to specify the table. So what is the table here? Sheet 1. Okay. The second parameter is the expression. On which columns, what is the calculation that you need to do? So we need to multiply the unit price into quantity. So you need to multiply this. So I'll just say unit price, okay, into quantity. I'm multiplying this. Okay, that's it. I'll just run this one. Okay, I've just executed. So now when I just get into my report, we can see as some product, you should get that value, what we got it what there. Something like 1,400 change, 4,406, 14,600 something, So what is that? What is the name I gave? Sales amount. So you can see sum X, the sheet, and the expression. So this is what it is. Every row it is going to multiply the unit price into quantity, and then finally it will sum up for all the rows data. We create measure as the unit into quantity and then summarize. No. In that case, what happens? I showed you that output. No, you'll get this output. So if you multiply, so your question was like this, sum of this one, if you take this particular calculation and this one, and then finally you want to do the product of this, you will get output like this. You will get this kind of output. But I say this is not the correct output. So you have to iterate for every row wise, it has to calculate and then it has to give it. So some product is a solution, no? There's something similar to that. Okay. Okay, that's created here. I had not selected the sheet. I think we can refer from there also. So go to the sheet and then go to this data. So new measure. So maybe I'll just say S sales, total sales. Is nothing but sum X of, which is the name of the table, sheet 1. And what is the calculation that you want to do? It says I need to specify as quantity into unit price, no? So unit price into quantity. That's it. Okay, so now when I go here, so total sales amount, total sales here, yeah, 15K. Fine with this. Understood the sum products. Yeah, all can try this, I think. You all have this data, no? Same data. All could do this. Thank you. Good. The next thing here is next very important function is the calculate function. We'll see how do we use this calculate function. See, the same way how we have a sum x, we have a count x function. So I want to know how many orders were placed totally. Okay, you can go for search for that and things and so on. Now we have a calculate function. Hey, what is a calculate function? Calculate function is something similar to your sum if, count if, average if used, no? So something like that. So when you talk about a sum if, what it does is it does the summing based on a condition. It does the summing based on the condition, it does the summing. Okay. So that is what is your sum if is. Okay. So we'll just see how do we do this particular sum if. So if I have to do this, so I'll just use this particular function, calculate. Calculate is a function, and here I'm just doing what is that you want to do. I want to do the sum of sales. Okay, this will do the sum of sales of everything. Is it when I just used only sum of sales, it was doing the total sales, 2.3 million. I say, no, hold on. I want the sales to be done only where the state is equal to California. I want to just see only for the California sales. Okay, so it's like you're summing based on a condition. Okay, fine. So let us see how do we do this. Okay, fine. I just want to calculate a new measure. So that is going to be my California sales. Okay, I just want to say California sales. Okay, there's nothing but sum if. So I have to use a calculate function because it's like a sum if. Okay, I want to calculate is the sum of sales. I just want to find the sum of sales, but based on the condition. I just say state. So where I just say one thing is, so we generally commonly make this particular mistake, guys. See, we are using an state function, and the first parameter is I'm passing a sum of sales. Sum of sales we have started a bracket here, is it? We have started a bracket, we need to ensure that we have closed the bracket here. So this was missing. I need to close this. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is, so this is a common mistakes. Even I do the mistakes. Everybody do it. I'm just telling to avoid. Because one thing is like, we are used to this environment where in Excel, you write all the formula and last bracket, if you don't close, automatically Excel closes it. Even if it is 2-3 brackets, it will close it. Okay, so here in Power BI also it will do the auto completion of the brackets and all those things will happen. But still, what I'm trying to say is, if I use a nesting function, inside bracket has to be closed inside. Okay, that we need to explicitly do it. That Power BI or Excel also will not do it. Okay, so since it is the function here, I'm closing the function here. The second parameter is, when I put a comma, you can see I get a second parameter. What is the second parameter? Is a filter. So you want to filter based on the state. So I'll just say orders table, state column should be matching to, what is it, California. California. That's it. Okay, and just run this. Take this card. Okay, where is my Cali? You can see the total. See, the total sales is this much. Okay. When you are not filtering, it is 2.3 million. But you can see the California sales is this much. How much? 4,57,000. So this is my California sales and this is my overall sales. Okay. So now let us take an example here. Okay, I'll add this for this one itself. I'll add a California sales also. See, in the furniture, this is the total sales, 7,41,000 profit and thing. But in California, it is 1,56,000. Office supply, 7,19,000, and California is 1,42,000. Technology, 8,36,000. California has done a sales of 1,59,000. Got it. You want to compare the California sales with the other state sales, with say Texas sales. Okay. So in that case, what will I do here? I will create another measure. I say Texas sales is nothing but your calculate. I say sum of sales. Okay, or close a bracket, and I just say where the state is equal to Texas. Okay, and now you can see what is the Texas sales it is. You can see comparing total sales of California versus the total sales of Texas. Okay, when you look into this one, I want to show the Texas sales in this one and the California sales also. So you can see furniture, The total sales was this much, but Texas has done 60,000, California 1,56,000. Office supplies, Texas has done 44,000, whereas this has done 142 lakhs, 1.42 lakhs. Technology 65,000, here it is 1,60,000. You can see the differences. I took this two sales here at Texas and this one. I just start comparing that. I want to create a chart which is comparing this two. Good. So I can create this multi-column chart. Okay, so it is just trying to show you this particular data. So how the sales are happening between the Texas and the California. Okay. Okay, one name, someone. Okay, fine, guys. I think we'll try this. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll try this and we'll just take a 10 minutes break. I just have that service person. I have to go on the terrace. Some fixing of the net issue is also there. Anyway, just try this and then we'll take a break. Okay, I think we'll resume by 10-15 minutes, I think. So we can just complete this and then we'll go for a break, 10 minutes break. Okay, cool. particular thing function called as for text, is it? Fine. Hope everybody are able to see me, is it? See, this was the function which we just created. That is the calculate thing. We saw, like, how do we compare for Texas and the California? Okay. Now the next thing is we'll just see with this particular function called as what it say. Okay. So we can go with the multiple filters. So multiple filters are like, say example, I want to see what is the sales happen in the West region furniture. What is the sales? I want to look for that. Region should be West and category should be furniture. I want to go for this. I want to go for multiple criteria. Yeah, you can do with the help of the calculate function. So what I will do, I'll just go to the new measure. I just say East region sales, East furniture sales. I want to know East region total furniture sales. Okay, so it's equal to, so I'll use the calculate function. And in the calculate function, the expression is going to be what? So I want to see the sales of furniture. Okay, so if I have to see the sales of furniture, so first is I want to see the sales. I say sum of sales, sum of sales, close the bracket, and then filter. What is the filter? I want to say region is equal to, okay, region is equal to, say, East, and say, comma, category is equal to, what should be the category? Category furniture. So we put in the double quotes. Furniture. There's not two criteria, two conditions here. Close the bracket. Close this one. So now you can see that it is filtering based on two criteria, two conditions here. So I can, I want to split this, control alt plus enter, sorry. So keep the cursor from where you want to split and say alt plus enter. Fine, that has been. So here, when you look into this one here, is we are trying to see what is the sales, okay, total sales based on two criteria. The first criteria, region should be East, and the second criteria is category should be furniture. So East region furniture sales. Okay. So I just say compile this. So understood, East region furniture sales. And I say furniture in the East region. I'll take it in separate this one. So you can see here, East region furniture sales. And I say furniture in the East region is 208, that is 2 lakhs of sales. Understood? The sum x with multiple conditions. Like, sum f's is like equivalent to writing a sum f's. Time analysis function is, I want to see, okay. The next thing here is, we'll see with the time intelligence functions. Our time intelligence function is, I want to see the same period last year, how was the sales. I want to get those ones. So we write it in this way. Okay, so I'm using this function called as calculate. Okay, so I'm using again the calculate function, even you want to find for this particular, what to say, same period last year function. So where I'm trying to calculate the sum of sales, but I'm trying to do this particular sum of sales, okay, where you can see in the place of filter, I'm using this one. So where I say same period last year, okay, I'm doing it this on the order date column. So in the order date column, we're trying to find out what is the same. So that means I want to do a comparison. So January 2023, what is the sales and what is the sales of January 2022? December 2022 compare with December 2021. November 2022 compare with November 2021. So like, I want to see in the last year, same period. So last time, same quarter or same month or same day, how was the sales? You want to compare that. So that is where exactly we use this same period last year function. So we'll just try this practically. So last year, same time. Fine. If I have to do this particular same period last year, so I'll just do the function. It goes something like this. I want to know last year, same time. So I will create this function. Same time in last year. What was it? So I'm just fine. If I have to do this particular same period last year, so I'll just do the function. It goes something like this. I want to know last year, same time. So I will create this function. Same time in last year. What was it? So I'm just trying to go with this. And I just say use this calculate function. So in the calculate function, the expression is I want to find the sum of sales. Okay. And then what is that I want to do? I want to find the sum of sales, but I want the sum of sales is, you need to close this bracket. And I just say same period last year. Okay. And here I want to do it for the order date column. So we take the order date dot date. Okay, so fine. I think this should be equal. The bracket should be equal. Okay, that's it. Okay, now you want to see this comparison. So I will do it like this. I'll take this data. Okay, and I'll just take the order date. And I'll take the sales. And I want to compare with the last year same period. What is the sales? I'll just zoom it so that you can see this. So you can see 2018, January 3rd, we had 16 cents per sales. But last year, no. This was the first year, no? So you can see in 2019, January 3rd, 2019, January 3rd, we had a sales of 1,768, but last year it was only 16. Okay, so we can see last year, okay, on the same period last year it was 288, year it is 264. Last, it is day wise. I say no, I want to see month wise. So if I want to see the month wise, what will I do? In the column hierarchy, I'll remove the date. If I remove the date, you can see the month wise. So here you can see that in 2018 January, okay, what are the sales? And 2019 January. So we are comparing this with this. Okay, when you see here, February, okay, so the current year is 11,000, the old one was 5,000, 4,519. It is comparing. Now I'm trying to compare last year same period, what was the sales, and then I can come to know, okay, last year February we had a sales of only 4,500. This year almost 12,000. That is like, more than double. That is really good. When you see here, last year we had 56,000. Now it is only 38,000. Low sale year. Okay, so you can see they have done a better performance. I want to do a comparison. Last year, the same period, how was the sales, and current year, how was the sales. I want to do this kind of a comparison. So we use this one. Yeah, I have an issue with this. Hello, thank you. Yeah, I just want a help from you. I just had a doubt kind of thing. That is the reason I called up Nisha also, I think. Are you online? You want to check it, like how exactly the things are going? Okay. So the tools help. No, I think there is some issue with what you say, the GoToMeeting. The screen has been frozen. It looks like. I think, sorry guys, there was some kind of a network issue and it got disconnected. And I think the screen was frozen. I was taking the class, and from my side, the class was going on. I think from last 10 minutes, you're not able to see. I see a lot of questions here. Yeah, I couldn't. I felt like there is something wrong with this particular. So yeah, finally we could figure it out. I think now I hope you're able to see the screen. Now you're able to see the screen. See, actually, I did the calculate function. So, okay, I hope you were there when I was doing the calculate function. So this is like, I'm doing the time intelligence function. So where I'm trying to, yes, sir, able to see. Fine. Thank you all. Thanks for your patience, all of you. Thanks a lot. Okay. See, one thing is, fine. So now, okay, I'll just redo this particular same period last year. So see, what exactly the same period last year is, we always compare. We don't compare with the previous month what is the sales in this month. We cannot compare December sales and January sales. December people had a lot of holidays, vacations and things, travel times and all these things. People did a lot of shopping and all. January is not like that, There people are busy with what is a new projects, new works and all these things. So they are very busy. So we cannot expect that kind of a business what happened in the kind of month of December. So if you have to compare the previous year December and the current year December, how is the sales? I want to look into that particular thing. So that is how the comparison happens. So last year October and this October, how was the sales happened? So that is the festival season or a kind of thing. So we look into those particular things. So if you want to do that, so we can see. So now when you see here, this is like, showing what was the sales in the last year. Okay, last year, same time, okay, 14,000. And you can see this time it is 18,000. So it is comparing last year, the January, okay, January and January. So you can see here, February and February, last year to this year, how was the sales it is. So it is trying to compare. So you want to do this kind of a comparison. So we use this particular same period last year. How was this one? So that is the formula that we write it. So let us see how do we write that formula. Let me create a new measure. I'm just creating a new measure, guys. So today it has eaten up a lot of time, and I really had some network issue also from my side also. Still that is not fixed. They are fixing some cable has gone wrong. So they are fixing, just I'm using an alternate network thing. I just say last year. Okay. Same time. I can just say last year, same time, how was it? So for that, we'll use the function called as calculate, fine? So I'll use the calculate function, and the calculate function goes like this. So first is, what is that you want? I want the sum of sales. Okay, and I need to close the bracket, and then your expression is going to be your, instead of filters, in the case of calculate, we use the filters. Here I use this function called as same period last year. Okay, in the same period last year, so I'll just use this one. What is that? I'll just say, we are using the order date. That date. That's it. Rename the measure. I think this is already there. Same period last year, or I say previous year. Previous year, same time. Yeah. But we already have created the function, no? When window was frozen. Fine. So previous year, same time. Okay. So the calculate is, I want to calculate the sum of sales. This is your sum of sales value. But it has to compare previous year at the same time over the sales. You want to compare. That is what it is. So for that, in the place of filter, I'm using this particular same period last year. And we are just telling that period year data we are taking in the date field. The date field is the order date. So I'm looking for the order date based on the order date. So just close the bracket and just press enter. It is done. Once it is done, we can get the output like this. A date, actual sales, and the same period last year. let's go with this. Here, let me take this data. I'll take the order date, zoom to focus to see the complete data. And I'll take the actual sales, or I'll take the previous year, no? Previous year, and the actual sales. And it's showing day-wise. I'll say no, I want to see month-wise. I'll remove the date from the date hierarchy, day from the date hierarchy. Yeah. So this order date dot date. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. So you can see last year, same period, how it was. Okay, February to February. So you see that, last year, how was the sales? This year, how was the sales? Last year, how was the sales? This year. Okay, fine. Got it, guys? Yeah, I can try this. I hope you got some idea of what is DAX functions, is it? Again, please, no. This time I've given time for you to try this. Done. Okay, cool. So next is we'll see about last year MTD, okay, and YTD and QTD functions. Okay, total MTD. We'll look into this particular function. So this is like, total month to date, quarter to date or year to date functions. We'll just see like, how do we do this particular thing. Okay. I'll take this particular month to date. Okay. How exactly we use this particular thing. Okay. Now, this is like mainly used when you want to create a running total. You want to create a running total. I'll create a new measure here. Sales quantity, or I say sales month to date. Okay. So I'm just telling that total MTD and applying on which column. Okay, it is on the sum of sales. Okay, I already have the measure here called as total sales. I can refer it as sum of sales. Okay, and then so this is the column on which you want to do the MTD, and the date is your order date column. That's it. Okay, so by just doing this, so what is that we can do? Okay, any report here. Again, I'll take the order date. I'll take the sales, and I also will take the sales MTD month to date. I'll just get into the focus mode. So you can see here what is happening is January, on this day we have 16 bucks, fine. On the next day 280. You can see it is nothing but this plus this. Okay, the total sales plus the current sales. So when you look into this one, this is nothing but 324 plus this one. So now when you look into this one is 454 plus the old sales, the total sales. So it is like running total. On this day we had a sales of this much, fine. On this day we had sales of this much. The total sales till year is this plus this plus this. So total sales here is this. So it is stating. And you can see the running total, it is going till month wise, okay, till year. But again, in the February, again, from the day one, it is getting accumulated. Total of this, it is going total. So again, March 1st, again, it is going to restart. So this is your month to date. So the same thing, if I just say as QTD, it is like quarterly. Total QTD. So when I talk about the QTD, I'll not take the day. I'll remove the day. It's difficult. Okay, you can see January, February, March. Again, January it is restarting. You can see here. So January, February, March, yeah, quarter. In this quarter, we achieved this. Okay, and you can see in the second quarter, April, May, June. It is the sum of values. Okay, so again, you can see quarter 3. So this is sum of the values. This is resumming. Why today it is like it goes every year on year. Understood with this? Okay, so I'll go with the MTD itself. So it is every month. Okay, it is just fine. So it is the whole month will be accumulated, and you can see every new year it is going to start the new sale. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. This is about your DAX function, guys. So we have understood DAX is used to get some advanced analytics. Like I want to know profit percentages. I want to know what is the cost. Okay, you want to know what is the total sales for a particular region, for a particular state, on multiple things. So we do all those things with the help of some built-in functions as well as with the operators. Here in the DAX, we mainly use with two things, calculated columns and the measures. Calculated columns is mainly used when you want to get some row-wise data. It creates an additional column which gets binded to your table. It eats up a lot of your resource, but not that very useful for doing the rich analytics. Measures, it creates aggregated values, and the calculations happens dynamically. Okay, and also what happens in the case of the measures, so runtime dynamically it creates the calculation, and we saw the various functions here. Some X function, so iteratively, so it's like some product. It creates a product for each row and then it does the summing. So we saw the calculate functions and the calculate functions. So we could see how do we filter and do the summing, and then we saw with some kind of a time-related function. Okay, this was something about your DAX query. I hope it was informative. Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you all. So I know today we had a little bit of some network issues and things. I hope, yes, but still we are able to catch it up. Thanks for your patience and things. So see you all in the next week. The files will be shared, guys. I'll share the files. I have some network issue. I think it should be fixed in next 1 hour or so. They're just working out in this one building. So, okay, there's something issue with my building, the network issues there. So they're trying to fix it up, so which will be solved very soon. So as soon as that is there, I'll just share all the files yesterday and today's files. Okay, thank you all very much for your patience. Yeah. Thank you. Hope the same. Wish you the same. Everyone have a great week ahead. So do practice on this. So okay, so we'll continue with more informative sessions and all.